What's up, curious youngsters? If we keep wasting time on pointless things or watching endless videos, we just get weird YouTube recommendations. Why not spend a few minutes on Senor Curiosity and learn something? 30 totally epic facts that you'll forget in 10 minutes, but these aren't just any facts. They're going to leave you completely amazed. For this and much more, here are 30 things you didn't know 5 minutes ago. Regardless of your belief, did you know the Apollo 11 landing in 1963 was pushed to its limits? You likely know the story of the first people to walk on the moon. When Armstrong and Aldrin landed, the lunar module had just 15 seconds of fuel left, so a slight delay could have forced them to abort the mission. Nowadays, important organizations like the Army or similar ones, especially those of major powers, use the most advanced technology. In the United States Army, 8-inch floppy disks are still used in old International Business Machines computers for nuclear missile systems. This is because they are practically impossible to hack, unlike other systems. Let's see if you knew that, my friend. Even if you usually have a good sense of humor, we can't deny that Monday mornings tend to be quite depressing. And the truth is, it's not just us who think so. You see, apparently according to a study conducted in 2011 by Marmite, this time of the week is so sad or boring that it's said that, on average, we don't smile. First time today, not until 11:15? Without a doubt, some findings are incredibly interesting. Until 1963, Methuselah, a tree, was thought extinct for at least 1,800 years. However, during that period, about 2,000 seeds of this tree were discovered in an ancient jar. That's how, in 2005, these seeds were planted and sprouted again. No one knows who named our planet, and the truth is, nobody does. Unlike other planets, there are still no historical records of who named Earth. Interestingly, this is the only planet name not derived from a Greek or Roman god. According to a legend, the name kangaroo might not mean exactly what people think. You see, a long time ago in Australia, native people were asked, "That's where the name of that curious animal comes from." In response, the Australian Aborigines likely said kangaroo, meaning "I don't understand." His question: did you know where the expression crocodile tears comes from? Interestingly, it comes from a specific action of this animal. When they eat their prey, they start to tear up as they chew. This occurs because chewing and breathing simultaneously puts pressure on their tear glands, causing their eyes to secrete fluid. Without a doubt, one of the most interesting mammal animals due to its underground lifestyle is the mole. And you probably already know that these curious animals are known for their ability to dig tunnels in practically no time at all. But can you imagine how much we're talking? Even though it sounds incredible, a mole can easily dig a 90-meter tunnel in just one night. Great job, Mr. Mole. If you're a bit older, you probably remember the famous television series Star Trek or Journey to the Stars, but a small detail was included to save money. As you may know, the characters can teleport to their destination, but this was actually intended to avoid spending too much of the budget on filming landings and takeoffs, so it was considered more convenient to simply use teleportation. No matter how old you are, we can't deny that all of us have made a pinky promise at some point, especially when we were kids. However, its origin is a bit darker than it seems. You see, originally, when making a pinky promise, it was said that whoever broke their promise should cut off their pinky finger. Now, you know why? It's just done that way. We all know the world's leading fast food company, McDonald's, but you may not know they created special cards. A few years ago, this company introduced gold cards that let holders get free burgers for life. Don't get your hopes up. Right now, only Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have them. If you've heard, if you want something special, you have to work for it, you probably don't know its origin. Actually, this well-known phrase originated in the Renaissance, where getting the sky blue pigment was practically impossible. That's why paintings with more sky blue were priced higher. Not all countries are the same, and in some countries like Bangladesh, the punishment for cheating on an exam goes much further. Cheating on an exam is considered a crime. Yes, it is punishable by fines or 5 to 10 years in prison. You'll likely think twice before cheating here. Why so strict? Bangladesh? Why? No doubt things often don't turn out the way we want, and that's exactly what happened in 2016 to a woman in North Carolina named Glenda Blackwell. Tired of her husband always buying lottery tickets, she decided to buy one herself to prove to him that they would never win anything. But the funny thing is, her ticket ended up winning them $1 million. Did you know plants make squeal-like sounds when stressed? You likely can't hear them yourself. But, according to several experts, when a plant is under stress, it releases an ultrasound that can be detected from several meters away. This may communicate their condition to other animals and plants. If you or your family are superstitious, you've probably heard that they bring bad luck, toasting with water, since this myth goes back many centuries. When the rivers toasted the dead, they used a glass of water to wish them a journey to the depths. Later in Russia, if the Tsar raised a glass of water in someone's name, it meant a death sentence. Surely you've seen, either in person or even in a documentary, original statues and sculptures from ancient Greece. They all share one thing: their boring color. But believe it or not, all or many of them weren't purely white like marble, but actually had vivid colors that faded over time. Since the pandemic, many things have changed, such as sanitary measures. And when you're walking down the street, you see someone wearing a mask who you find really attractive until they simply take it off. Well, don't worry, it's not just you, but also a study conducted in 2021 by the journal Cognitive Research revealed that, in fact, wearing a mask that covers the lower half of the face makes a person look much more attractive than before. If you've ever felt better after receiving a hug or a caress, there's an explanation for this. You see, when someone hugs you, a hormone called oxytocin is released, which works as a natural painkiller that can easily calm you and reduce your stress. And not only that, but it can also help wounds heal faster. So it's likely that you'll feel much better after this. What a curious human body. Did you know you can't tickle yourself? This is because they activate a part of the brain responsible for controlling your vocal and emotional reactions, as well as your facial movements. However, when you try to tickle yourself, your brain is aware of your intentions, so it cancels out that surprise factor that happens when someone else does it to you. You probably can't imagine how much we resemble certain ape species. Did you know that humans have as much body hair as chimpanzees, according to a study? What happens? And the reason why this seems impossible is that our body hair is useless and so fine that it practically looks invisible. There's a rather strange fact that you've probably never heard about British war tanks. Each one is equipped with the boiling equipment shown here. However, while you do use it to heat up rations, the truth is that it's also used to make tea. Plus, this equipment is armored, so your tea will always be safe. Maybe you've seen a poisonous frog in a documentary and thought it looked dangerous, and of course it's something you'd never dare to touch. In reality, they're not always as dangerous as they appear. Most only develop poisons in the wild because their diet consists of ants that eat poisonous plants. Keep away from the frogs, Timmy. Today, almost everyone knows Einstein's name and his profession. Did you know he also enjoyed playing the violin? He started young and continued into old age. However, due to his advanced age, there came a point when he could no longer move his left hand properly. Maybe you didn't know that cats have a very closed and somewhat special metabolism. They deliver significant water savings and high recirculation. Some mild medications for humans can be fatal for cats, so you should never give them a pill that isn't recommended by a veterinarian. The last emperor of China, whose name was Puyi, never brushed his own teeth until he was 44 years old, since this man had servants who helped him with practically every kind of task, including this one. He only started brushing his own teeth after being sent to prison. In 2010, a drawbridge in Ireland couldn't open because the remote control to operate it was lost, which sounds funny. Though it may sound silly, this bridge was actually closed for about 4 years. It wasn't until 2014 that they were finally able to reprogram it so it could be opened without needing that device. Some animals are truly incredible, and you might not realize just how loud sperm whales can be. This toothed cetacean species can produce sounds up to 230 decibels. And honestly, isn't that just too much at this level? Are sperm whales capable of killing a human just with those terrifying vibrations? Mother Nature. Nowadays, there are many factors, whether you believe in them or not, to deduce a person's personality. And maybe right now you're thinking about the horoscope. In Japan, your identity is defined not only by this, but also by your blood type. For example, it's said that people with blood type A positive are perfectionists, stubborn, and anxious. Among other things, cats are really curious animals in some ways. And in fact, did you know that they can't taste anything sweet at all? It may sound sad, but this could be the reason. Their lifestyle is carnivorous, and according to different experts, that's why it's not relevant to give something sweet to these felines.